All right, folks, welcome back to Tipper Talk Tuesday. As we know, the year has come to an end. It is now the last day of the year. Soon we'll be into 2025, and I wish everyone out there a happy new year and the best to them, their families. I wish you prosperity and good health, and do great things with your birds. Now, behind me you see red-eye loft tipplers. This is my style of bird that comes from here, from the red-eye loft, but I also have two other styles. If we can say Harry Shannon and Nash line, I have them here. They're pretty nice, but this is what I'm working with right now. As far as looking at them, seeing what looks good as far as mated together, and hopefully next year I can start somewhere with some time flying. Which brings me to this topic. End of the year topic, we're going to discuss clubs. Well, the Red Eye Loft is officially a member of two additional clubs, and that's the CNTU, I just joined, and the FTS. Both clubs, I am waiting for my bands and my membership form or cards, whatever, to get through the mail to make it here, and I can officially say I have them, which I'll bring up later on in a video for 2025. But I currently have my NPA bands, which I've been a member since 1995, and the American Racing Pigeon Union. I have my bands for 2025. You see it? And of course, I'm waiting for my other bands to come in. Now, one must ask, or you must ask, why do I have that many bands from different clubs? Why not? Why not? I think contributing to all the clubs is a good thing. I think being a member of many clubs is a good thing. Not only you help them survive as a club, but you also can experience different types of styles within those clubs. Now, when it comes to the ARPU, if you're racing homers, that's totally different from what we're doing here with the tipplers. But if you're flying, the clubs like the NPA, CNTU, the FTS, that's totally different. They're all geared towards the tipplers in some way or another. Whether it be through the NPA, you're showing birds in a cage, or the CNTU and the FTS flying competition, you're still involving the tipplers. And that's what we want. Everyone to have somewhere to go to, somewhere to participate, and enjoy the hobby. So, next year I'm officially member of 4 different clubs. Paid my dues already. Not many people can do that. Not many people want to do that, and that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the end, I think that if you spread yourself out there, get to know other clubs, you will learn something and you will take something from each club. It's not a right or wrong answer. What works for you in your location, your loft, your time, and so on. There's a lot of guys with a world of knowledge out there, more than I'll ever know currently right now as far as flying tipplers. Now, when it comes to hands-on pigeons, general, basic pigeons, housing, health, appearance, I have a decent amount of time to say that I can bring something good to the table. But we all can be experts in our own way. Some guys may be good at doing one thing. Some guys may be doing good on other things when it involves pigeons. But in order to really be a good pigeon fancier, you have to be well-rounded. Meaning, you have to know how to at least construct and build a small loft. At least know how to take care of birds. At least know how to identify what kind of birds they are. Heck, some folks can't even identify a hen from a cock, believe it or not. But again, maybe they weren't taught properly, maybe they don't know. So when you get to these clubs, someone in that club, in all those clubs, will teach you something. You have to be a good student to absorb that knowledge. And how well do you retain? If you don't know, write it down. If you don't know, read it. If you don't know, look it up. But that's what we have. 4 different clubs, 3 primarily for tipplers that I'm involved with now, and I am going to be learning something from all those clubs, apart from what I already know. But I'm looking at my notes here so I don't forget what I need to say for this last video of Tippler Talk Tuesday. You know, when it comes to the clubs, local clubs, what's good about a local club? A good thing about a local club is you can meet with the fellas, get up close and personal, have a meal with them, have a nice pigeon mumbling session, competition, whatever you want to call it. But it also brings some heated discussion about opinions on how things should be done. And when clubs can't sit down and come to the table and have a good pigeon mumbling session and agree to disagree on some things, then it's time to move on. And that's what I've done. I moved on. So I'm excited to see what these other 2 clubs bring for 2025. And you know, the days of having birds like this displayed for that trophy, it's in my rearview mirror. Unless it's a flying competition tippler show, then maybe I'll consider it. You ask yourself why belong to a club? Why? Well, you know, what's this? Oh, that's a blue jay. Must be a hawk around here. The hawk must see the pigeons because all my birds are not in the aviary and the blue jay is squawking like there's a hawk around here somewhere. But anyway, as long as these guys don't get spooked, we're good. So why we have to belong to a club? To meet people like-minded, like you are. You know, to share the same interest, to exchange information and opinions. That's why we have to meet, why join another club. That's why we have to join those clubs to do all that. You ask yourself, how many clubs should you belong to? As many as you like. Why? It gives you variety. If you have some clubs you may not have time for, and some you will. Some people have the time and money. Some people don't have the time or money to do so. But I think it's important to be involved with several clubs so you can get different ideas and different and you get different mindset of people on how they do their things. You know, how do they operate in their lofts? How do they take care of their birds? I've learned a few things from the CNTU recently, and which is a good thing. I would not have known if I didn't get the opportunity to talk to some of these guys during a video chat. And I've had several already that have been nothing but great. Every time I get on that video and I talk to a guy from the CNTU, one of the members or several members, I learn something. And that's what we want, the knowledge. But then again, not every club will be for you. So you can join a club, like I've been a club, and I'll give you a little history. I was a member of a club for the last 3 years. Joined the club, did everything that I thought was correct, did everything possible to help and promote that club. And in the end, I made a statement or two, matter of opinion, that was not well liked, and I was removed from the club. So what can I do? Can't do anything about that. I've never been kicked out of a club in my entire life, and I've been a member of many clubs. I've been a member of dog clubs. I've been a member of classic car clubs. I've been a member, heck, if there's such a thing, you know, back in the day, for those guys that know what I'm talking about, a bowling club. Never had a problem. Been a member of softball club. Been a member of many clubs, pigeon clubs. No problem. Never been kicked out of one. But I got kicked out of this one. And for that reason, I guess it is what it is. But for 2025, I have my other bands coming for the CNTU and the FTS. Hopefully I can get some young ones banded up in the air and maybe timed and clocked. And maybe in the state of Florida right now, as I see it, Benny and I, we're going to be competing. We're going to be competing in the FTS. I'm going to try to promote the CNTU to him. Maybe he can go to and join that club as well. And we can both compete. We can compete, first of all, amongst ourselves. Then we can compete against each other for right here in the state of Florida and see which team of birds we can get to fly the longest. And document it, record it, and we can start a trend. And for anyone else out there that wants to join in, please do so. Look me up, call me, text me, put a comment on my YouTube page, and maybe we can help you out. We can help you out with some birds, help you out with the knowledge, help you out with the construction of a loft. And all I ask in return is that you put your best foot forward without me expecting a dime. I don't need you to pay me to help you build the loft. I don't need you to pay me if you're really starting the competition in flying tipplers and you want to compete. We can gift you some birds. We'll help you out with that. But if you want to be a member of a club that wants to do things in a positive way, let me know. We're here for you. So, what causes successes and failures in a club? Well, group participation. Following through on some of the club's proposals for existence. You know, if we don't follow through and we don't really check up on those new members, then how are we ever going to succeed? See, in order to have a good club, a successful club, you got to have great leaders. And, you know, it's ultimately up to the leaders. It's kind of like a push-pull relationship. If you extend your hand out to those members and you pull them, but also have another member pushing behind them, maybe we can get through. But some guys don't like clubs. Some guys don't even want to join a club. And that's okay too. Whether they have the money or not, that's okay too. Whether they have the time or not, that's okay. They can do whatever they want. You know, the members and the board members, they have to be active participants. It's hard to move forward if members are not actively engaged. And you'll see guys, they'll say one thing, but they'll go do another. And we've all been there. You know, I've wanted to do many things around my loft, but you know, you set goals. If you don't meet them, that's okay too. But you set the goals. And the goals are, you know, if you set 5 goals and you can only obtain 2, 2 out of 5 that you set for that year. It's a good thing. At least you did something. But how will you ever know if you don't try? That's why I say to some of the guys here in Florida that want to be in a club that's inviting, a club that's fulfilling, and you get something out of it. You have to do your part too in order to make the club work. But if the club is geared towards one thing only and they're not meeting your standard, that's why I say there's other clubs, and it's a good thing. That's why I'm a member of 4 clubs now. So one club doesn't come through, I have 4 others to fall back on. Now, earlier this year, right after, I want to say sometime in April, I think it was in April, I tried to come up with a club down here in Florida to compete with flying tipplers. And after 3 meets, 3 months in a row, 3 meets, I probably could have done better if I would have had something more structured, more solid, more concrete. It's not that I failed at it, I just put it on hold. It's temporarily on hold, and I'm not going to revisit that club or that idea of starting a flying club here in Florida, not just yet. I think the best way of doing it is I'm going to start flying my tipplers here and flying for time. That's 1. I have Benny on the other side. That's 2. He is going to fly as well. He's going to give it a shot. Once we start doing this, maybe we can bring in some other guys that want to compete and want to try it out. And if they think that they have it, they have the birds to do it with, they have the technique and ability and style and the know-how, they'll be invited in. But at this point, it's not that the club was a failure. I chose to put it on hold because the interest was not there. See, it's not a popular thing to fly pigeons, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not popular because in order to fly pigeons, it takes work. Not to say that it doesn't take work to put a bird in a show cage and take him to a show and prep him for a show. But it does take work flying pigeons, because in a cage, you are in control. If the bird doesn't look good, you put that bird in the cage, that's on you. If you breed the bird to another bird and it doesn't meet the standard, that's on you. But here's where it takes work to fly birds. You can have these birds perfectly healthy, fed correctly, trained correctly, flying for hours, and so on. But you can let that team of bird up in the air, and you don't know what Mother Nature's gonna throw at you. It could all of a sudden turn into bad weather, or it could be, the birds could be chased by a predator, by hawks. You have too many variables there that you have no control over. And the key to being successful is to try it again. And try it again until you get that one day where everything aligns up correctly and you become the winner for the time, and you got to achieve the bird's flight performance from sun up to sundown. So for those folks out there watching my channel, I say thank you for 2025. Join a club next year, 2025. Join several clubs. Don't get stuck with one. If that same old club keeps doing what they're doing, you know the old saying, right? If you always do what you've always done, then you'll always get what you've always gotten. And you can't sit there and tell me that something's going to change next year when the last 3 years, nothing's changed. So I can look back and say I've made some changes here in my loft throughout the years, and for the better. Each year I try to get better and better and better. And that's what we want, to progress. And if you don't find the answers here, you got to find them somewhere. So you have to search. The other thing is, some folks may not like what I say on YouTube, and they may disagree. But ultimately, what is the message here? The message is, let's make it positive. Let's make it more inviting and eventful. Because we all like the same thing, the birds. That's one thing we can all agree on. We all like the same thing, the same animal, the same hobby, pigeons. And we're halfway there. We like it. We love it. But everyone's mindset is different. And what do they, they have different beliefs. So for 2025, I'm going to continue my journey with the new club, the CNTU and the FTS. Hopefully I can have a great time with those guys. And if I could, I would join the BUTC, the Baltimore club. But I can't join that club because I don't live in Baltimore. I'm outside the area. I've already approached that conversation. And, that's just the way it is. But I will support them. I will buy a shirt. I'll buy a t-shirt and support them. Hey, I've done it for other clubs. Why can't I do it for them? I've paid and bought t-shirts for my classic car club or a dog club. I could do it for them too. So, folks, till next time, like always, the last video of the year, Tipple Talk Tuesday 2024. We're going to close it out. Happy New Year. And we'll see you back next year, 2025. Hopefully we could all have fun. Be safe out there. Peace.